Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Life Coach University and 2023 Let's Coach, where we are offering pay what you want or nothing at all coaching sessions all year long. And with that said, remember this is intended to be a coaching session. So the more you engage, the more you ask questions, the more you provide feedback, the better this is going to be for you. The more you'll get out of it. The more you put in, the more you'll get out. My name is Chris Wells. I am a life transformation coach and co-founder of Rise Life Transformation Community. And I'm going to get to my topic, but please feel free to interrupt at any point with questions, feedback, concerns by clicking on the Q&A button down at the bottom of the screen and typing in there, and I'll respond verbally. All right, so we've been talking about the IM structure for life transformation, for creation, the I standing for intentions, the A for awareness, and then the M is for management. How do you live out your intention and your awareness? Basically, how do you, the management is the day-to-day bridging of the gap between where you are currently and where you want to be in your life. All right, so last time I talked a little bit about the A, the awareness, which is a critical component. Without that, you're not going to be able to change intentionally if you're not aware of your habits, your thought habits, your speaking habits, your behavior habits. If you're not aware of what you need to adjust so that you can bridge that gap, right? Well, today I'm going to talk about another A word. And this one is another one that is absolutely critical if you want to make some changes in your life, and that is accountability, right? If you don't realize and live accordingly that you are 100% responsible, 100% accountable for your thoughts, your emotions, your speaking behaviors, your actions, and ultimately the results and the experiences that you're getting. If you don't know that you're responsible, if you think somebody else is coming to do it for you, if you think somebody else is responsible for how you feel and for what you say and what you do, then you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. If what you've been getting is unintentional and undesired, unwanted, right? We cannot blame other people. We cannot complain. We cannot make excuses and expect to make intentional, positive changes to transform our lives, to create an amazing dream for ourselves and then actually realize that dream, right? We have to drop the blaming. We have to drop the complaining. We have to drop the excuse making. And if we do that, then we start to take command. We start to take command of our thoughts. We start to be responsible for our own feelings. We start to realize the connection between the outside world and our inner world. So our thoughts and our emotion, our perspective, our own resourcefulness. And when we start to own that, then we can start to realize our dream. We can start to become who we need to be to hold that dream in our reality, right? Because we get back who we are, who we're being. right? The vibration that we're sending out, that's what we get back. So you have to own that. No one can do any of this for you. And of course you can get help, and I strongly encourage that you do. Don't do it on your own, but know that it's up to you. And even getting help, right? Asking for help is up to you. That's your responsibility to ask for help. But if you try to do it all in a silo, if you try to do it all on your own, you're going to make it much more difficult for yourself. So absolutely get all the help that you can. Right? But know that your experience, your results are your responsibility. Right? And so you have to learn to control what you can, which is your thoughts, the way you talk, the way you behave, which ultimately strongly affects the way you feel and the results that you get. And you can influence other people, but you can't control other people, right? But you can have your own boundaries, right? And you can control yourself and how you engage with other people. Right. So if you're reaching out to other people for help and they're not helping you in a way that is actually helpful for you, then you can't control what they do, but you can tell them no, thank you. Right. You can turn to somebody else. You don't have to keep them in your inner circle. So again, that's up to you. If you're not getting the results you want, if you're not having the experience you want with another person, you cannot control their behavior. You cannot control what they think. You cannot control what they say. And if you try, chances are that you're going to wind up with a lot of frustration and a very strained relationship with that other person. Right? And I think we do this a lot in relationships, especially our closest relationships, our romantic relationships. We start to become dissatisfied in the relationship, and we look to change our partners. And of course, that's not going to go well. All right. So I know that it might sound like a heavy burden to think that everything's on you, right? That your life is on you, that you can't put it on anyone else, that there's no cavalry coming to save you. Right? There's no knight in shining armor that's going to make everything happily ever after for you. It's completely on you. And I get that can feel like a heavy burden, but again, it's all about perspective, right? And so it could be a heavy burden, or it could be a liberation. It can be freedom. It can be bliss for you. That's your choice. Again, it's your responsibility to view it in a way that serves you. And how you view anything in life is completely up to you. And I suggest that if you stop viewing things as a problem, a burden, and start viewing everything in life as a gift and an opportunity, you're going to start to see some remarkable changes in your life. All right, so I'm going to give you an exercise that you can do to help start to bring some awareness to how much responsibility, how much accountability you're actually taking. Right. And so this is, I already mentioned this, the blaming, complaining, and making excuses. So I'm going to give you an exercise that you could do around that to help yourself start to take full responsibility. All right. And that is, so just at the end of every day, take note, think back through the day and ask yourself, what did I complain about? Right. And then, like ask yourself again now, like, how did I give my power away by complaining? Right. And if I were to take full responsibility, what would I have done if I were taking full responsibility? What would I have said instead? What would I have thought instead? And then how would I have felt different, right? Like, so how did complaining make you feel? And what results did it get for you? Did it change anything for the better? Right. And so thinking from a place of taking full accountability, how do you think you might be able to adjust and maybe have a different experience? How might you feel then? And what kind of results would you get? What kind of outcome? Right. And then do the same thing for making excuses, and do the same thing for blaming other people. Right. Think back to the day and maybe think about something that maybe somebody complained to you about, or something that you intended to do but didn't, and then you came up with an excuse, right? You defended yourself, you made some excuse for why you didn't do or why you did do something, right? And then think about how that made you feel, how that, if another person was involved, how did they respond to that? What was the outcome? And then again, think, well, all right, if I were to take full responsibility, what would I think? What would I say? What would I do? How would I feel? What results would I start to get then? Right. And then the same thing goes for blaming. Who did I blame today? Right. And how did that make me feel? And if I blamed them outwardly and they were involved in that conversation, how did they respond to that? What are the results I got? If I took a different approach, if I took full responsibility, full accountability, and did not blame, how would I feel? How do I think they would have responded differently? What results would I have gotten? And I think it's a good idea to write this down in a journal. Do this every day for at least a week, and start to notice if you're experiencing any changes throughout your day and how you feel in your interactions with other people, how things go for you compared to how things were going for you. Just notice if there's any change there. And I'd love to hear your feedback on that. So join me next time and provide that feedback for me. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Right. Okay. And again, don't do this as a way to judge yourself and be hard on yourself, beat yourself up emotionally and internally with your thoughts. Do this just as an exercise in growth, right? And so you have to have self-compassion and self-patience, and be kind to yourself while still being honest and looking to make adjustments and grow and change. You're doing this with intention. You're doing this from a place of love. So don't be hard on yourself. Don't make things harder on yourself than they need to be. Like always, everything we do, we want to do from a place of love and compassion and kindness. We want to have patience with ourselves, with other people. We're looking to grow, and other people are too, and we want to help them as much as we can. We want to be in service to everyone else. And so we have to treat everyone, including ourselves, with kindness, with love, with compassion, with understanding, patience, forgiveness. Right? And when we treat others that way, we are in turn treating ourselves that way. When we treat ourselves that way, it makes it easier for us to treat other people like that, because we're more at ease. We have more inner peace, more joy, more love to share. Right? If we're constantly hard on ourselves, if we're mean to ourselves, then we're going to feel pretty awful. And when we feel awful, we're going to take that out on other people. Right? So let's not do that. Let's project love inwardly and outwardly. Let's spread that. We have enough fear. Excuse me. I'm going to take a drink. Enough fear in the world already. Enough sadness, enough anger, enough challenge, enough difficulty. People are suffering. Right? And you can be a light that shines onto the darkness that they're living in right now, all by just being a lot kinder to yourself, and then letting that come out of you, that kindness, that light. Right? Not judgment. That, like, I know it can be really difficult to do this self-development work and start to notice some positive changes, and then not judge other people because they're not growing as much as you're growing, right? So it kind of deflates all of this work when we do that. But I get it. I've been there. I have those moments. But doing this work to develop ourselves, to grow, to evolve, it's not about being better than anyone else. We're not better than anyone else. We're also not worse than anyone else. Right? And so let's use this work for the goodness, for the benefit of Earth. So that's just love on ourselves, love on everyone else. Come from that place of love and act in service, right? We're in service of others. That's what a great leader is. A great leader is in service, right? Like, how can I help? How can I serve? How can I lift others? How can I be an example? How can I be light? Right? And it's not by judging other people or bossing them, trying to control them. It's not by being hard on yourself or on others. It's through love. It's through kindness, through compassion, patience, service, right? All right. So you have that exercise. Start to bring awareness to your blaming, complaining, and excuse making, and then start to turn it around. So as you develop this ability to be more aware of that, then start to catch yourself throughout the day, right? Don't just wait for the end of the day. If you notice yourself at any point blaming, complaining, or making excuses, which is you giving your power away, saying, I can't handle this, which means you're not going to be able to handle it and you're not going to be able to get the results that you want, right? So we want to do away with blaming, complaining, and excuse making, right? So start to catch yourself. When you do, take a deep breath, maybe 3, maybe 5, maybe count backward from 10, whatever you need to do to bring your awareness to the present moment. Let your thoughts be with your body, where you are right now, not thinking about the past or the future, not trying to avoid the reality of this current situation. Bring yourself to the present moment and then intentionally think, how can I own this? How can I take full responsibility here? How can I think? How can I speak? How can I behave in such a way that's going to help me get the results that I want, to help me have the experience that I want, to help me feel the way I want to feel? Start to do that. Do it all day, every day, and you will absolutely start to change. Your life will start to change. The way you experience life will change. And it won't be a small change. It'll be spectacular. It'll be amazing. It might not happen overnight. It might take some time. Be patient. Keep doing this work. Keep taking full responsibility. Keep loving yourself. Keep loving everyone else. Right? And you will absolutely start to experience some profound positive change. All right, now I'm gonna dive into what I've already talked on, is our thoughts, words, and actions, and how we're responsible for them, right? Because that's a big component of this. Like, so how do we take responsibility? And that's with the creation process, the way that we create, right? We are creators. That's why we're here. We're here to create and to experience what we create, and then create more and experience that. That's why we're here. We're here to create and to experience and recreate, re-experience, keep doing that. It's cyclical, but you're still moving. There's an upward trend in that if you're doing it intentionally. And if you're not, there's going to be a downward trend. If you're doing it unintentionally, if you're operating on a subconscious level, you're going to keep making yourself feel worse and worse and worse and worse. And so you have to own this creation process. You have to be aware of it first, right? Because we are always whether we're aware of it or not, we are constantly in the middle of this creation process. We are constantly creating. So become aware of it first, right? Know that the way we create, the way that we experience life, the way that we feel, our relationships, our wealth, our lifestyle, our growth, our contribution, our health, all of it is a product of this creation process, each of our own creation process. So know that your thoughts, your words, your actions are creating your results. They're creating your experiences, right? But these are things that you have control over. You have control over your thoughts, right? And so your thoughts are that link between the external world, the world around you, your situation, the people in your life, your work, all of that. Those don't directly impact how you feel. There's a go-between, and that go-between is your thoughts. So if somebody says something that hurts your feelings, it's because you had a thought in between them saying something and your feelings being hurt. And you might not even be aware of that. You're likely not. If your feelings are hurt, then it was probably a subconscious thought, but you made meaning out of it. You took it to heart. You made it true, right? If somebody tells you you're stupid and then you feel bad, it's because you believe them. Right? Because if somebody you admire, respect, adore, have a crush on, whatever, tells you something like that, that's probably going to feel a lot different than if somebody you hold in a very low regard, right? Somebody maybe at work who really gets under your skin, you don't have a lot of respect for them, you don't think too highly of them. If they tell you something like that, it's probably not going to feel the same way. Even if it's the exact same words, right? That's how you know that. That's one way you can know that it's not the words, it's not what they're saying. It's what you're thinking about it. It's what you're making it mean. That's what's really affecting how you feel. Now, of course, their words influence that, right? That's a trigger, right? So we should know that, right? We should know that what we say and what we do and even what we think, because what we think creates a certain energy within us, and that energy is detectable by others. So even what we think affects other people. It influences, right? Now, we're not responsible for how other people think and how they feel and how they act and speak and all of that, right? But we can influence that. And like our own thoughts, words, and behaviors affect them. And like they're going to react, and that's going to affect us. And so, we really need to be mindful of this. But so it's our thoughts are the beginning of the creation process, right? And so we have a thought about our situation, about our body, about our relationships, and that is creation on a certain level, right? Even just our thoughts are creative, because thoughts are energy. Energy affects how we feel. Energy affects how other people feel around us. So that creates feelings, right? And then the next step is words that we speak, right? That's going to create at another level, because now we're saying things out loud. This is more detectable by other people, right? When we use our words, people are going to be affected by that even more, right? That's going to be a stronger influence over people, especially when you combine the beliefs and the energy, the emotions, right? And with the words, that can be incredibly powerful. Just look back throughout all of history, the speeches that people have given that have started movements or changed movements, or have started wars or ended wars, ended slavery, or whatever. Words are incredibly powerful, especially when they're backed by powerful beliefs and emotions, right? And then we get to action, right? So we have our thoughts, our emotions, our energy, our words. All of this moves into action, right? But it starts with the thought. We think. So nothing happens without the thought first, right? We can't move our bodies. We can't take action without thinking, whether it's conscious or not, again, but there is a thought that happens first, right? So it's important to have intentional thoughts and to be aware of our thoughts, so that we have intentional words and that we have intentional actions, because actions are going to be creative at a different level still, right? When we do things, we're going to get results from that, right? So if we want to start a business, there's we have to have the right beliefs and the right energy, and use words to get other people to help us, or to ask people, like to make offers to people, ask for their business, right? But then we also have to build the business. We have to create business plan. We have to, there's a lot involved, marketing and sales and all the financial and legal and all of that. There's things we have to do, right? And so this combination of our thoughts, feelings, words, and actions, that's creating the results that we're getting, the experiences that we're having, right? And then we have more thoughts about the experiences that we're having and the results that we're getting, and more feelings and more words and more actions. And then that's forever changing the experiences that we're having, right? And the results that we're getting. And it might not seem like it's always changing, because maybe we keep we keep getting the same results, keep having the same experiences. That's because we keep having the same thoughts. We keep feeling the same way, and we keep saying the same stuff, and we keep doing the same stuff. And we're typically doing this unconsciously. We're doing this unintentionally. So we have to get really clear on what we actually want. What experiences do we want to have? What do we want to create? What results do we want to create? And then we have to know, all right, well, then what actions do I need to take to do that? What words do I need to use? How do I need to talk to myself, to other people, about this business idea, about all of it, right? We have to talk about it in an attractive way, in a helpful way. How do we need to feel? We need to have good energy, right? We need to be hopeful. We need to be optimistic. Right? And then what do we need to think? We need to think that it's possible. We need to think highly of ourselves. We need to think that we're worthy and deserving. And we need to think that of other people. We need to have loving thoughts and beliefs. All right, I have a question here. Is this where a vision board would help? Words, images? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, having a vision board would be incredibly helpful. Because the more we can imagine it, the more we can see it and make it real before it's real, then the more we're going to help ourselves make it real. Right. So yeah, I think vision boards are wonderful tools. And this could be digital, this could be physical, something you put up on your wall, any way you want to do it. But yeah, I think it's really helpful. And if that's not your thing, then create the vision in your mind and hold it there and revisit it on a daily basis, several times a day, so that it really becomes a vivid, clear image. But so that's why it's helpful to have the vision board, so that it's something that you can see. So it's really clear, and that helps with the creation process. Right? We need to have a clear understanding, a clear picture of what it is we're intending to create. And then we line up our beliefs and our emotions and our words and our actions with what we believe will help us create that vision. Right. So that vision is the guiding thing, right? Like, okay, this is what I want. I have an idea of why I want it, which is super important. And now all of my decisions, we can check against that. Are these beliefs, are these emotions, are these words, are these actions helping me create this vision? Right. So it's a good guidance system. All right. Thank you for that question. And I've gone over, but thank you for being here with me. Thank you for the question. And I look forward to speaking with you again. I hope to see you in a week. So 7 a.m. Pacific, Tuesday mornings. See you then. All right, I got a comment. I love these sessions. Thank you. Awesome. I love them too. I know I was super mellow today. That's because I just worked out. I just did some yoga. So I was like pretty zenned out from that. Hope it wasn't too low energy for you. All right. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care.